Hi guys, Neil the Grumpy Old Gamer back again with another vlog. This one's going to be a post MLG Anaheim vlog, looking back at the event and also looking at any other news that's flying around at the moment. So we'll get straight into it. Yeah, it was an interesting event. As I say, it was set up differently so that obviously some teams were straight into round two, which was based on COD Champ's performance. Which had already been discussed on Twitter quite a lot in terms of did those teams, I'm not going to say deserve to be there, because they deserved to be at the event, of course they did, but how it was actually determined that they went through to winners bracket round two straight away. And obviously there was a big discussion that sort of I got involved with a little bit on Twitter in terms of why COD Champ's positioning was used to determine that when Pro Points is obviously in place. Now we all know to an extent that Pro Points is a bit of a flawed system because teams just don't play against each other around the world, and therefore Pro Points are only regional, and should they really be transferable? Who knows? But the point being that there has to be some sort of generic universal system in place, because of the fact that, for me personally, I think it was foolish to try and place teams based on an event that was 3 months ago, when teams have changed, circumstances have changed, and personally speaking, I just didn't get the way that was done. I got the way it was done. I just think that it could be done better. But that's gone. It's been and gone. But I think I'd like to think that could be looked at for future reference. So anyway, onto the event itself. Obviously, mainly I'm going to touch on the European teams because they both did well. I say both. Obviously, there were other European factors at play at the event, which I'll obviously also go on and discuss. I'm going to do an overview of the event, speaking first of all about my own team, Epsilon. The boys, went over there a little bit early, tried to get some early scrims in while they were over there. The first match versus Team Caliber, I watched that match, was doing a lot of the social media stuff for Epsilon, trying to keep that up to date, and I was absolutely blowing my mind. The boys played really, really well to miss out on domination. I think was 2 points. It was round 11 on S&D, and it was 1 point on Blitz. You just don't get any closer than that, really. Also maybe 1 point on domination would have been any closer, but I know the guys were disappointed that they couldn't hold out, the domination, and they couldn't hold out on the Blitz as close as it was. And I know there was a lot of disappointment I saw on Twitter from the guys that they couldn't hold out to get that, and obviously they had to drop down to the losers bracket because of that. But personally speaking, from my personal point of view, watching the game, there wasn't a great deal more they could have done. I'm sure they know the game much better than I do, and I guess they would know areas there they could have held leads and could have done things better. But they went into the losers bracket, did really well against Curse Australia, pulled out a 3-0 there and looked really impressive in that match and did really well. And then they played Curse Black, and again played really, really well, and just I'm going to say we're unlucky on a couple of occasions. I'm sure the lads will say that they could have performed better. I don't know. But personally speaking, I thought they were incredibly unlucky on a couple of occasions, and yeah, it was a shame. But the big thing being that the guys cracked the top 8. Previously, no European team had cracked top 8 at a US event. So for the guys to do that is a great achievement, and hats off to them. They deserve praise for that, and well done for that. But what I will say, never want to shirk praising another European team, even though obviously I'm part of Epsilon myself. TCM really produced the goods. Again, after dropping down to the losers bracket, they went on a terrific run. and obviously just lost out to Optic Gaming in the losers bracket final. And to get third place at a US event like that was absolutely terrific for those guys. So real massive congratulations to TCM on that. It just shows that the European scene is strong, and yeah, hopefully one day it'll be Epsilon doing that and turning performances, which I'm sure they'll do at upcoming events. But you know, if it's not Epsilon, then I'd just love seeing another European team do well. And the guys at TCM worked really hard for that. So massive congratulations for them achieving the third place. I know I've seen a couple of tweets from Marky saying that he was still gutted they couldn't take it any further, but I also saw a lot of tweets coming back, and mine would have been one of them, saying, you know, don't worry about it. You know, third place is a great achievement. You know, coming up against Optic, who are in terrific form at the moment, and obviously then EG, who obviously went on to win it. You know, in terms of if you're facing that type of calibre of opposition, and doing as well as they are doing, you know, to get third place is no underachievement or anything like that. So the boys, you know, nothing, you know, can't take anything away from them. Did really well. So well done to TCM, and well done to Epsilon for you know a 7th place finish. Again, is no mean achievement either. So really good for the European teams. Just I'll wind up the main bracket and say well done to Optic and to EG. Those two making the final again. Obviously the form teams at the moment. So it was good to see. But obviously EG, former Complexity, carrying on. You know, a little blip at X Games, but you know, I don't know how. I'm not going to say they weren't taking it seriously, but obviously not a mainstream event as such. But you know, to see them carry on where they've left off previously and performing still as well as they are doing is absolutely terrific. For a team to be so consistent over such a long period of time now, it is just a real, you know, in some ways, you know, if it was like football or something like that, and one team always winning, it does get a little bit boring. You like seeing, you know, other teams winning from time to time, but you've got to take your hats off to their level of performance. You know, Optic have been playing really well recently, so for EG to win in the manner they did was absolutely cracking. So well done to them. And yeah, it was a good event. It was a good event. Some really good plays, some really good excitement. Was produced superbly. Watched a lot of the coverage. Casted really well. Produced really well. The coverage was superb. So well done to MLG on that. Yeah, good event. Just going to mention the open bracket, because obviously we had a couple of European representation in there in terms of Lightning Pandas. I know they did really well. I think they were really amazed by how well they did over there. Saw a few tweets from the guys coming out, and congratulations to them on a real good run. It's good to see the lads. I know, you know, they've made some big strides over the last few months and looking to do some good performances. So they did really well, and hopefully that'll give them confidence to kick on from here. So well done to the Lightning Pandas guys. Really good performance over there in the open bracket. And the last one was Mad Cat, who obviously was teaming with Elevate and gave a real good performance himself. I believe they got third place. So it's good to see Mad Cat still turning the performances and teaming up with obviously a US team and you know, further enhancing his reputation across the pond. So yeah, real good weekend for Europe. Well done, guys. I believe there was some hiccups on journeys back. I think most of the guys are arriving back in today. Today's Tuesday, so I think a lot of them are arriving back into the UK today. So congratulations. I'll try and catch up on people's streams and say well done to everybody. And it was you know, maybe it's a turning point for European teams on US events. So let's wait and see on that one. And yeah, real good performance. So well done on that. Just moves me on to other news really. Not an awful lot happening at the moment. We've got a few things coming out with Nismotech at the minute. Yeah, a few odds and sods going out. So keep an eye on Nismotech for some reviews of, you know, unboxings and reviews that we've got coming up. A couple of giveaways going on at the moment over there. I've got a giveaway coming up soon that's in conjunction with Nismo Tech, so keep an eye out for that. I'll obviously let everybody know on Twitter about that. Any Epsilon news? Bits and pieces of Epsilon news. We've recently been partnered with GT Omega, one of our new sponsors. So that was a nice announcement that we did. Speaking to Leo about that, and they have obviously teamed up, and they're now one of our partner companies. So there's a bit of a news article about that on the Epsilon website if you want to go and have a look about that. And obviously now GT Amiga are on all our website and their logos on there, which is great to see. So thanks to them for that. That's really good. Any other news? There was a little bit of a kerfuffle yesterday about our CSGO player Kiyoshima. Unfortunately had his Facebook account hacked, and horrible things were said about another CSGO player. It was a tricky situation, and obviously we jumped on it fairly quickly, and it was confirmed that he had his account hacked, and he clearly stated that he would never say comments like that were made on the account in the public domain. So we tried to clear that up as quickly as possible, and it's one of those things. Unfortunately, people take the time to hack people's accounts and try and do stupid things. So there's stupid people in the world, and you're never going to get rid of them, unfortunately. So that was dealt with. So that was an interesting afternoon yesterday. But all in all, it's a good time. So there's a few events coming up. Obviously G3's just around the corner, around about a month's time. So that's going to be interesting. I'm hopefully going to try and get down there. We've got EGL Blackpool coming up soon, which is great for me. Just around the corner for me, so I will definitely be getting to EGL 13 and try and see a few of you there. I-52 is obviously coming up towards the end of August. Won't be able to get to that. I'm away on holiday for that, so unfortunately won't be able to get to that. So good luck to everybody going to I-52. But I'm sure there'll be more vlogs coming up later in the summer, revolving around those events. So keep an eye out for that. So thanks for watching, guys. Just a quick one, just a little review of MLG Anaheim and a bit more news. So if you've enjoyed it, drop us a like, drop us a sub. Thanks for watching, and hopefully see you again soon. So this is Neil for the Grumpy Old Gamer saying bye bye for now.